since the show ended. Everyone seems happy the Drip Lord's back in good graces with the show.
Yeah, I mean, I think he came to terms with that a little bit today. He said he was, I forget his exact term, but he was like, I'm absolutely frightened in that moment. The moment in question was the peg blocks, I guess, with his child. But yeah, overall, great day, great week. Still in the surviving Barstool world. We obviously lost Kirk in the show this week.
And Rico.
So tough matches all around. But the show's been phenomenal. Like I can't recommend it enough if you haven't been watching. It's probably some of the best single season of reality TV that's ever been done, I'd say. And that's not even like a true plug or anything. Like it truly just is.
Yeah, I think for me, my biggest takeaway is that it's genuine reactions from genuine people who, yes, they are friends, but they're not afraid to stab each other in the back and let things kind of boil over, as you're seeing, like especially with this KFC Chicago riff kind of building up, especially in the last episode.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, so let's see. What else can we run through today? I feel like in many ways, like with surviving, there's been so much going on within the world, and obviously like dozen drama too, with Kirk and the team struggling. But in terms of our world, I mean, you know, kind of quiet. I think the main thing this week was we had some Kane popping up here and there. He dropped the flowers off to the studio.
Yeah, that's a weird move.
That was weird.
That's still one of the weirder things to have happened early on in this tenure, to see flowers show up from Kane. And then he was also today at Just Ducky. So I know Kevin from Bristol's been trying to get back in the good graces, and sharing a picture like that and kind of defending Kane, I don't think is the smart way to go about that.
Yeah.
That would just be my nickel's worth of free advice, if you will.
Yeah, I don't even want to spend too much time talking about it because it's not worth it. The only thing I will say is that I think it came across in Sunday's show that I was somewhat down on Steve from Gloucester. And then, you know, Kane kind of does his thing. He's popping up in a Harmon Be a Man video. I'm back on Steve. I can't help it. I really can't. He just brings me joy listening to him. It's
my concern, as it's been from the beginning, is when does this go bad? And I think you started to see the cracks. And
the chat's right now. Like, I don't even feel like it's worth bothering.
Oh, I agree. That's why we're done with it.
Yeah.
But for Steve, he is now in a situation where he needs to figure out what's good to do, what's not good to do.
Right.
And like he needs to
It's the mental warfare part of this show is getting within your own head about what you're doing right or wrong, or, you know, kind of doing what's worked, you know, trying to improve upon it to bring something new. I could see it all happening for Steve for sure. Or, you know, he's taking a step away like he was in that clip that I played a little bit today, which was wild. What did you think about that? Him, you know, coming up in an old episode like that.
I think obviously he's been around since the EI days. Kirk acknowledged that in that clip. And I think and you even said there was a call, one of my calls was in there.
I'm saving.
Which one is it?
I don't know. I've been getting sent some good Gus stuff. I want to save it.
Yeah, there is a bunch of old Gus stuff.
I want to save it for
if it's in relation to the show. I can tell you it's either me pretending to be a sports reporter about the dozen, or there's probably a clip about the Antonio Brown clip is one of them for sure.
No, I don't think it was that. I think you were calling in as a persona.
I don't think I ever called.
Or maybe no, you were after the persona. That's why I'm thinking.
Yeah, I never.
I listened to it a couple days ago. I got to run it back because I'm saving a couple of these for a Blind Mike episode, just because I think he'd be funny to break it down with. That's all.
Yeah, no, I don't care.
Yeah, no, it's not like
I know it's not
fucking, you know, spoofing off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Spoofing off. Oh, that is true. That is true, David Maryland. That's my fault.
That is a good, yeah.
I'm
not familiar.
I should have pushed for the golden dog. I love that dog. I bet you my mom still has pictures of me when I was a kid on that dog.
So what else we got?
The Jared and Mutt show.
Jared and Mutt show, that was great. Thought Mutt had been on a roll within the show, I think, ever since Halloween with the
Coleman
fit, the birthday. It was a good show. And then he was the perfect pair with Steve from Gloucester, I thought. That made for a really great show. But I don't know. Something about yesterday felt like he dropped back a little bit.
So you're saying Mutt had a bad day yesterday?
I'm not saying a bad day. I just think compared to the kind of stretch he's been on, I don't know. It didn't feel like for example, the first question he brought was about Menners.
I mean, I think that was it. He was just,
but it seemed like it was getting to him.
It is. Oh, what do you mean? Seems like it definitely was.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think he was as, there with it as usual.
So you think Menners? Let me get this. Menners' comment about Mutt affected Mutt's performance on Wednesday. That's what you're saying.
Not really.
That's what it sounds like you're saying.
No. I'm saying that compared to previous shows with Mutt, he's been on a great stretch. I've really, really enjoyed having him in here.
So Menners' tweet ruined Mutt's stretch.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, the first thing on his mind when he came in was a Menners tweet,
which puts you down on it. Therefore, that tweet ruined his good streak. Menners ruined Mutt's good streak.
Yeah, but I don't want to say it as like ruined his good streak. It was just like I think he took a step back from the strides that he was on leading in. Like I thought he was on a great stretch. Like he was, to blind Mike, probably like our second best guest consistently. I think Mike is just great on the show in general.
Yeah, no,
but I think Mutt's been playing off Kirk as well, if not better at times, than Mike has been recently.
I mean, if you've gone back and listened to like the old Kirk and Callahan when they had Mutt in, those are always the best episodes because that Mutt Kirk chemistry. And I think what makes Mutt so effective in here is that relationship with Kirk, how he's able to play along with it. And like Mutt gets it, whereas a lot of other people in Mutt's position probably don't fully get it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That's fair. Do we want to talk Dickens?
You want to talk Dickens? Of course I want to talk Dickens.
We could talk Dickens.
So I still can't get over the fact. I still can't get over the fact that you hired someone to put a bed frame together.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, I could have done it, but there was a couple factors to it. One, didn't have tools. I'm not going to just go out and buy a fucking,
even for
full thing of tools.
Even for a bed set, all you really need is just a screwdriver.
I didn't have any. I literally do not have much. Like, I have the essentials for like cooking and cleaning, and then like entertainment stuff like Wi-Fi, my TV, all that shit, and that's about it. Like it's a small place. I didn't just bring a whole set of tools.
But you don't need a big set. Like you can go to Target right now and buy like a hammer, screwdriver,
a
whole thing for $20, and it'll have everything you need to do basic shit.
Or I just drop another 50 and not have to fucking worry about it.
That is such a fucking rich thing to say.
When I'm doing work for the show, when I'm consumed with my time towards this, it really was a time saver for me. I'd prefer to just get it done like that, one day, one sitting. Like this was also happening the day of the movie theater show, which there was a lot of like off conversations, having to go talk with Julie, visit the theater like 2 or 3 times to make sure everything's right and working. I was going back and forth with you. I was very concerned about this show. It was my first true live event of some sort, and I wanted to make sure that we nailed it. That's why I fucking hauled ass and got merch too, because I wanted to make sure everything was covered with this show, and it turned out great.
Yeah, no, it was fantastic. I get it.
That's the timeline I'm dealing with here, where I got all this other shit going on. Just build a bed.
It's not hard to build a bed. That's all.
I'm not saying it necessarily is, but it took this guy an hour and a half to build it, maybe close to 2. And for me, I know I'm not getting it done that quick. For me, it probably would have had to wait for a weekend to do. Instead, I pay a little bit more, and I'm able to have a bed frame to actually sleep on instead of just having my mattress on the floor, which it has been.
It was on the floor. I can confirm
that.
Dude,
my back was shot. It already feels so much better. Like, worth it. I stand 10 toes on that. Worth every penny. I'll pay that again.
Todd in the chat says it took Dickens only 30 minutes to build it, and then the other hour was just flirting back and forth.
That was good. No, we were ripping Seinfeld. It was awesome. But that was the like very weirdly Seinfeld-esque dilemma I was put in. I was like, I don't want to watch some raunchy R-rated comedy with my builder guy. Like, I feel like that would be weird because I knew what it would be like. I knew I'd be sitting doing my thing. He'd be over in the corner working on the bed. I needed just light comedy. So I thought Seinfeld was the way to go with that. I think it was the elite choice. He came in and thought it was Friends, though. He's like, oh, man, you got Friends on? I was like, nah, this is Seinfeld. And he's like, oh, that shit's good, too. And then we were laughing through like 2 or 3 episodes.
I think you need to buy like a couch or a futon and just have him come and build it again. And that way you guys can build it. And then you can watch a TV show on that futon after. I think that would be a great idea.
He seems like a busy man. Like he seems like he's bouncing around. It's not like this is some friend that I, asked to come over and help build it. Like, this is some random dude. Like, I'm not constantly talking to Dickens. I just saved his number because I thought it would maybe benefit the show if we called him at some point.
You saved it because you wanted to talk to him after.
No,
see how his day was.
No, you sat next to me and I was like, yeah, I still have his number. I'll save it for the show. And I quote, those were my words. Wrong?
You wanted to save it as a friend. No, you just wanted to save it. You just wanted another friend. I get it. No, it's fine to make new friends.
I don't need new friends. I don't. I have a lot of friends. Sick. Humble flex, but yeah.
But and anything else good? Like so he comes in, builds the bed. How's like the goodbye part? That's what I'm most curious about. Like after the show, like did you talk about a little bit of the show? What you thought was funny?
No. So the laughing to the show died down. I'd say after like the 3rd episode. Like it felt like he was just like
3 episodes.
Well, yeah, it was like a stretch.
20, yeah.
They're 20 minutes, whatever. So let's say it took an hour and a half or whatever. Didn't really talk much. I offered him if he wanted like a water. He said, nah, I just drank so much water. That was that. I was like, okay, cool. Then he just went to it. Then after the fact, he kind of like wrapped up, had his like a bag of trash and a bag of like recyclable stuff. And he's like, here you go. You can take this. I put the extra pieces here. I was like, I don't have any cash. I didn't have any cash on me. So I was like, do you have Venmo? So I hit him with a Venmo for a tip. And that was it. He was on his way. Dickens was out. Yeah.
Dickens was out.
Yeah.
But the bed's been good? No issues?
Yeah, 0 issues. It's actually unbelievable. Just like not even necessarily sleeping on something that's not the floor, but like being elevated a bit like that, just feel it's a world of difference. Like it's actually so nice.
Yeah, having actual proper sleeping arrangements.
Yeah, no, it's huge. Like the past couple months, sleeping wise, have been dog shit. I need to play the Rent soundtrack just to fall asleep.
Yes, good call.
Yeah,
that's very very funny with Reek. I wish, as someone who's been known to sleep talk in their sleep. Like, I wish they released, like, Rico or Hank or anyone who's talked in their sleep during surviving. That'd be great.
I kind of want some chat today.
Let's feel it.
Might be a low-energy Coleman as this day goes on.
See, but so Justin...
How much did he charge you to build your bed from the Drip Lord? I think it was, like, 70... If that makes sense.
$70 to build a bed?
Dude,
I'd go build again. Anytime you have any new piece of furniture, I will go build it.
But I didn't
for a 6-pack and $50.
I wanted some random dude to come in, build the freaking bed, and have it just be set so I was done. That's it. I just want it done. Worth it.
You're saying I guarantee you I could have probably done it just this fast.
But I don't want you building my bed. That's the point.
But I'm handy.
See, the fact you want to build my bed this badly makes me think that maybe I should give you Dickens' number.
For what?
I don't know. You're really interested in my sleeping pattern.
I'm not interested in your sleeping pattern. I'm just amazed that you would pay money to do an easy task. That's all. But
I'm not saying
two different lifestyles. We have 2 different lifestyles.
I'm not saying it's not an easy thing. It would have had to wait for a whole week of this big ass box sitting there for me to do that. I was not going to be building that bed until the weekend.
Hey, you wanted to get a good night's sleep. I get it.
Yeah, so let it be done.
It's just 2 different lifestyles. That's all.
I think Coleman used an app. Yeah. So this is good fact checking by Justin. I said TaskRabbit. I completely forgot what it was. It was within the. I think I just got like a cheap Wayfair thing, and then just like got it through that.
Oh, so the Wayfair. So it's like a quasi.
Yeah. So
build.
it was like almost like they have their own. It almost seems like offshoot guys, so that's why I think I was thinking TaskRabbit, but it wasn't like he was a direct Wayfair guy.
Yeah, no, he's a third party independent contractor most likely, but it was set up through Wayfair, which is a little bit better, I guess.
Yeah.
But like I would have been more judgmental.
Well, it
like,
depends who you ask.
If you
Wayfair's got some.
if you went on it. If you went on like Amazon and it came and then you went to TaskRabbit separately, like that, I would have held much more judgment against you.
No, it was same.
Yeah, I mean it's a little
realized
better
after the fact. Like, hey, sometimes you're in the moment in here, and it just comes out a certain way, and that's what sticks. So
yeah, no, I get it. I mean, like I said, I had when we bought the house, we had a couch, bed frame, and our dining set was all.
Yeah.
Done by the movers, but that was all through the where we ended up buying the furniture from.
I'm going to need more
stuff
in my room, between a couch, between a desk. Next one I will build, and I'll do it myself. Gus can film, and we'll include it. So there
it is. See, it's I want to see you build something. Be handy. I'll have all the tools that
good one, Justin. That's a good
I'll
one.
have all the tools that you need. Oh, Justin's Montante buys cabinets off of Wayfair for like 10 grand. Yeah, of course. Of course he does.
Yeah, Spinsta with the storylines thing. Yeah, I get that a little bit. So sometimes I do try to slide in some wackier stuff. It's hard because, sometimes it's like a combo of reading the room. So like I'll have certain topics that I think may flow better with. Excuse me. Oh, Jesus. I have topics that I think like flow better. Like if some topic of conversation comes up, then I'm looking through my list to pinpoint what can maybe fit in better next. And sometimes that's a bad read. So, that's on me, but I'm trying. I think I'm getting better with it. Like I keep saying like it's hard because you'll always compare my last show to the one before that. But if you compare it to the early stuff, I feel like I've really gotten away from certain topics that I don't even bother looking at anymore. Like I know in my head that I am like choosing to not do certain areas anymore. So yeah. But also at the same time, I think there's some topics that come up that I think Kirk would have went in more in older episodes that it feels like he doesn't necessarily want to talk about anymore,
Yeah, I think it's
like some of the political stuff.
Yeah,
I feel like he's just like
I think
he dabbles in it, but it's not a full-fledged.
Well, that's also.
But it also depends on the day, and it also depends on the guest.
Yes,
So it's
like
a
if we have
mix of
Steven
all
here, if we have Big Steven here, then it's
right. Like maybe there's some sports offshoot stuff when Mutt's in. Maybe there's more funny radio type stuff when Blind Mike's in. So like it's a mix of all that. I'm learning. I'm trying.
Yeah, no, I think, and even like the messages you and I have like behind the scenes about, is this good? Is this bad? Is this something like, I mean, how many times have I just randomly sent you like a Twitter DM like, oh, this is something, let's just hold it.
Yeah, and we talk in the morning too before shows, like, and also have topics that we think of on the side without even communicating, and then that morning we kind of merge it together to get where it's at. So I do rely on Gus for help with that too, and he has been a help with that. So yeah.
Not all the stories are going to be winners. I know that.
Yeah. Gus, why do you think it's so hard for you to get guests?
I think, look, it's one, not for a lack of trying, especially around this time, like schedules are what they are. And there's just people, I think, some will just see, like if an email comes from @barstoolsports.com, it could be an automatic no for them.
I was thinking about this too.
I mean, so that's why, like, when I send out messages, like I'm on my personal cell sending out phone calls, that I'm on, like, I even send personal emails in like combination with a Barstool email just to kind of see and try. It's going to be all hands on deck. We're going to get somebody. I know we are. So I'm not stopping. I'm not like even this weekend, I'm going to look at other potential ideas, like what's going on, what's in relation to the show, going back to a couple episodes. And then obviously, hopefully on Sunday, we'll have some news updates. I'm definitely hoping the Subway update will happen. I should be hearing from Tiffany, hopefully in a couple hours. So
yeah, I mean, I don't think that's necessarily like a complete out of the question spot just yet.
no,
Just from what they've sounded
Yeah.
like and what they've talked about, like even them going to higher up so far, like I still don't think they're like out on it. So we'll see. But I don't think it's necessarily just dead.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say it's dead. I think it's the owner. She's just wants to clear up with like the corporate stuff because like they have like certain things they have to do to go through it.
The other thing with guests too is that I also try with them.
Yeah.
Like I think you kind of do it 24/7.
Yeah.
Just because that seemed to be a bit of your role.
Yeah, no,
but I'm also trying with guests. My
And
thing is, I don't know. Like I think it's harder now because, like in COVID, it was so easy to get guests because no one was doing anything and it was all just Zoom related. But like now that I think everything's back, I think guests in general are tougher to get. So I'll give you that to your credit.
Because it's also like, and I think like I saw the comment like with Steve's, a lot of Steve's guests came at the end of 2020 when the COVID thing really started hitting up, where there were a lot of people at home around able to be at home. Now people are back traveling on the road, schedules lining up. So it's really looking at like what events are coming to the area that are related to the show. Cause then that's a way that they can, kind of promote their thing. And that's like another thing too. Like a lot of these guests, if they don't have something they want to promote, they don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Like even like with Hayden, like I'm like, if there's anything you want to promote earlier, like we love to have you in earlier before May, and they're like, oh no, just the May.
I will say this though, for like you calling Subway, like you should just record that next
Yeah.
time.
Oh yeah. No, definitely. It's again,
Like I definitely think like any type of content you can get out of that, like
yeah. It's like it's also one of these things is I don't want to scare Subway Tiffany away. Like, I don't want to do something that would upset her and make it an automatic no too. That's a line I'll have to juggle. But like if like recording the talking back and forth and explaining it, and like she hears that, doesn't like it, then cancels the whole thing. It's another situation like that you have to at least be aware of.
Yeah. Joe asked, the Subway show was initially going to be May, is it January? I think pretty early on Kirk was shooting for January.
Yeah.
And
that's what I told.
That might not have been on the show, but I think that's where he was shooting for.
Yeah, I think we talked about it briefly on the show, looking for like a weekend in January.
I mean, Kirk keeps saying like it's going to be a busy year, and we have all these different shows, events, whatever. So I think that's going to start to take shape a little bit more after the holidays, during that final stretch. Like maybe we'll start to see exactly where we're leaning with certain things. Even like the Portland show, like tickets we pushed back, and that was kind of a decision made because we had been hounding everyone. Like there was Black Friday, and then the pay-per-view came about, so it was like it's the holidays, maybe we do take a step back and reassess with everyone and everything after the new year. So
and
that's where that came from.
To respond to Chad saying like KFC, Lights Camera Barstool, they all get guests, that's true, but they also are going through Kelly Martin and that step. So if you want me to see me get my head screamed off, I'd reach out to Kelly Martin, but I'm not going to do that because we know how that's gone in the past. So yeah, would it be easier if we went through like a Kelly Martin? Yeah, it would technically be easier, but I don't think that's effective nor the right way to do it, especially for the show. So that's why.
Spencer asking the Star Wars trivia match. So that's actually something that I want to talk with Jeff with in the next couple days going into Kirk's trip in Chicago. He'll be doing, I believe, at least 2 shows there next week. That's something I want them to hammer out a little bit on their side, and then once we get some of those initial details, then I can kind of start working the groundwork of like maybe graphics, maybe setting it up so it's a whole thing to have happen. So like I haven't forgotten about Star Wars. I still very much want to do that. I think this timing of Kirk and Jeff in person together is a good time to circle back to that and then maybe move forward after that happens between me and Jeff or whatever. So yeah, very, very much still would love to do that.
Just the one thing that came up on the show today was that woman from the beanbag tournament, that Montante, and so we
the 90210.
Yeah, so for Box Eating Dad, he said, as a guy that was at the cornhole, Montante said jokingly, "Oh, that's who you are online. You must hate me, huh?" And with all seriousness in the world, the girl said back to him, "I just think you're an asshole and a trash person. I was stone cold sober. Think her husband is a dick too."
Wow.
So that is Box Eating Dad's retelling of events at the cornhole tournament, which...
Yeah, I mean, I saw Montante coming at your tweet of his...
it was a... Yeah. I'm sorry that it was a DM and not a text. Didn't Kirk on the show say you got a text? Yeah, so... But if that's like, again, see, that's another... Montante on the phone today, and that right there is like, are we getting Montante cracking again? Like, right, like how kind of... I don't know. I hope not. Like... But that's, again, to be that's like, it's just a weird move, I think.
I enjoy Montante.
I'm not saying I don't enjoy him. I'm just saying it's
I think between him and Mick, I always tend to have a softer spot for, just because they could have also been here. So it's like I like those two guys.
I'm not
I
saying...
think there's a whatever the fuck it is, like an offshoot universe where it's maybe me with one of those two guys. So
yeah, no, I'm not saying it as a bad thing, but I'm just saying in general, like if any other Minifan did what Montante did with that phone call and then a tweet like that, you would ask questions.
Yeah. Before you know it, Montante's gonna send in a fucking fruit basket.
Jeez. Yeah, he hasn't gone that far yet.
Yeah.
Please, no fruit baskets.
Yeah, I don't know. What is going on?
Well, one thing was I got a DM from Mayhem during the show chastising me for taking my Ritalin, saying it's ruining my insides. So,
yeah.
Like I said, I've put so much shit in my body. What's anything else at this point?
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true.
So what time are you going to be leaving to go down to your little high school, college, whatever the hell this thing is?
No, this is always a good time. Probably I'm gonna. It starts at like 4:30, and I think help me out with this right now. Let's plan this real quick.
We're gonna end this so quick just so you can get in the car and go.
No. I'm leaving tomorrow.
Yeah. It's 4:30 tomorrow.
Yeah. Let me see. I'm actually curious. Also, anyone listening, if you're interested in coming in, I'm trying to build up a sheet of Minifan guests for like these Fridays.
I think that if they want to be in, I want to see like a minute or 2 minute video, like, to get some sense, you know what I mean? Like a camera presence, or at least talking into a mic, just kind of as a little, not just coming in here blind, being a fan or a troll and just having another yellow shirt guy. Finding it yet?
Yeah, I got it.
What, do you see how long of a ride it is?
Yeah, so I can figure this out.
I'm going to guess I'll say 4 hours and 47 minutes.
Oh, also, vlog definitely coming today. I fucked up on my export of some stuff this morning. I had the sequence completely set wrong. So I got to go back and re-keyframe stuff. This is technical shit, but I got to redo a couple of the animations and stuff that I had in there because it got all fucked up and it's a pain, but it's coming. It's a good one. Let's see. It's saying like 4.5 hours. So I'll probably leave her like,
I was close.
Like 11. 11:30, 12, I don't know. Around there.
Yeah, you don't want to be the first one to that.
Yeah. And then, but that's the thing is we have a show Sunday, so I'm going to be coming back up. I want to get out of there Sunday morning, like as early as possible.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking like a 7 or 8.
I mean, I got church to attend on Sunday, so.
That's true. I forgot about
I'm
that.
excited.
We're sending you to Mass.
I'm going to Mass.
Hallelujah.
This is going to be I'm going to have to, I got to figure out an outfit too. I'm definitely going in my Miltons best. For sure going to church, but it's this will be the first time I've gone to church that was not a funeral in like 6 years, 7 years, something like that. Yeah, I'm not a church. I am not a religious person. This
Pineapple Friends.
they're not
funny.
Pineapple Friends.
That's funny.
Jesus.
What is it? It's like it's upside down.
Upside down pineapple means you're a swinger. There's been rumors amongst Minifan events too that there's people who've
Really?
Oh yeah. The more you hang around these people, the more stories you're gonna hear.
There's other shit. Signs of swingers. Let's take a look. Woman wearing an anklet, toe rings, thumb rings, switching your wedding ring to the right hand. White landscaping rocks, pink or purple decorations in the front garden. That's wild.
Hey,
I mean, I don't judge, but that's wild.
swingers got to know where the other swingers are, I guess.
All right. Anything else we got going on? Wrap up.
Let's see. I mean,
Pretty quick one today.
yeah, no more basketball the rest of this
We
year.
have to help Kirk film Dozen.
Yeah, so watch that when that comes out.
That's why this took a second, but yeah, it's a great match.
Oh, it's funny. Definitely funny. Let me see. But yeah, no. So I gotta, like I said, just get back to working for more guests. I'm gonna film this toothpaste thing. gonna go do that. So that should be.
That's
fun.
not gonna happen. It's not gonna work.
I know it. That's the
Like,
point of.
it's just not.
That is the point of me doing it.
I know this, but what? So break it down to me. How are you going to set this up? Because you're gonna just wind up with a fat glob of toothpaste everywhere.
Yeah. So my plan is I'm gonna take this
Is there
actual
a strategy? Let's strategize.
I know what the strategy is, and I can't use any extra tools.
Well, don't come to me for tools.
No shit, but I'm saying like I can't use a knife and like scrape and push. I think my best strategy is going to be to put it all like on a piece of cardboard like this, squirt it all out, and just try to force it back in. I think that's going to be the way to do it. Like put it all out, put the tube here, and push like with my finger and kind of like drag it in. You know? Did you really look up best ways to put toothpaste back
curious.
in a tube?
I don't know how this works.
It's impossible. Without like tools or anything assistance, it's impossible. It is impossible. And I know that, but I'll go have.
Squeeze the toothpaste until all air is out.
Okay.
You know it when toothpaste starts coming out. No shit. Keep holding the tube in that position. Place the toothpaste on the top. Release the pressure in it. Not really. That just broke my mind. All right.
Yeah. See,
That's
and
about
I
all.
think that's a
Oh
way.
my God.
That is a great way to end this producer show. Is you having your mind broken
Yeah.
about toothpaste getting put back in.
Definitely. But yeah. Trying to think if there's anything else I missed out on. So yeah, next week, Mike in here Sunday, and then I believe nothing Monday, Tuesday,
Chicago
Wednesday,
Thursday.
Thursday. But there will be Surviving Barstool
Monday, Tuesday,
Monday,
Wednesday.
Tuesday, Wednesday live finale. I've heard that this next stretch is also great. There's also great Kirk moments coming. Like it's not like other reality shows like you're out of the show, you're just out. Like no, like all of these guys are still going to be fucking with everyone. It's going to be great.
And then obviously on Wednesdays,
and
the
who the
live
fuck
finale.
knows what's going to happen? Who knows what's going to happen in the finale? Like, it could all just go scorched earth. Like, I think we've hinted at it on this show. I've heard about it. Like, there's real tension, real beef in the air that had been building, that was, kind of silently there over the stretch of, post-recording to this release. It should be good stuff. And it's brought about new enemies, too.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
So we'll end on that, I think. But we had Allen, he's kind of died off just because the Stephen Che hate came about, and that was, more direct. You had someone like Rico kind of going at him 24/7, which is good, like boots on the ground approach. But Che's kind of been taking it in stride.
What the fuck is up with Beanbag Ron?
Yeah, I don't understand where that comes from. Why he's
like
he's a big
what
Che
is
guy.
he so defensive about Che for? Like, it was
Maybe
a
he's
fucking
just a data guy.
It's a rat move. Like, what he did was a clear rat move. And like, look, I said to you this off air, I think the only way Kirk can survive the Che fights KFC in that moment is if him and Will have created such a strong bond, which looked like they had, that like they pull each other aside and just say, look, I think if we're going to get fucked, they're going to come after you because you're the odd one out. I will give the immunity so all the votes against you don't count. And then whoever Kirk and Will wanted to vote out would have had the 2 votes to none for because all 3 would have gone for Kirk. And then Kirk.
That's good.
And then Kirk and Will advance with either Che fights or KFC out, whoever they want.
So the Axe Joe, shout out, hashtag thank you Joe, said that Beanbag Ron will be on Mike and the Minifans tonight. I genuinely do try to watch at least some of that live, just because I like the vibe of it on a Friday night.
Yeah, it's definitely a good vibe.
I'm not saying every single week I hit it on the dot live, but I do enjoy watching that live.
Oh yeah, I mean, people know you hop into the chat all the time.
It's fun. But here's my take. For all the hate that Menners showed Pat Ford for not wanting to come on his show, whatever, he said the whole thing about his brand, how come there was zero hate or shade toward Beanbag Ron, a member of his network, when a clear-cut enemy was named and he was siding with him?
Yeah, that's
zip from Menners. Heard nothing there.
Oh,
so I'm hoping we hear a little bit of
rules for thee, not for me.
Yeah. I don't know. This seems more like a personal vendetta. He's more worried about attacking Mutt when, there's a guy in your own numbers who's
not going after a
disobeying the skip.
Like, and I can understand Menners going, quote unquote, going after Mutt because he's just butthurt that Mutt won't go on his show.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Just saying. Would like to hear some of that.
I'm with Mutt on the whole Menners shit too. So Mutt's my guy. I love Mutt.
There you go.
Look at that.
That's the axe. I think that's a good spot.
That's a good way to end it.
Yeah.
But
Mike and the Minifans tonight, like we said, tune in. I'm sure it'll be great. Especially if the Axe takes over hosting. But yeah, no. Great week. More to come. Good stretch going into Christmas. And Chicago next week is going to be good stuff. Vlog tonight. So see you guys around.